What's going on, true believers? Welcome to another episode of One Shot. I am your host, Jacob, and what a massive week this was. I think I picked up around 20 books. I'm going to do more or less a top 10 today, but I still am going to show you what I picked up, what didn't make the cut. And to start that off, it's going to be Beta Ray Bill, issue 5. This is the end of the series. Bill fighting Surtur for the sword that can change him back. Again, he's just worried about how he looks. He's doing all of this basically to look good. It's weird. It was an okay story, except for that bit. It was fun for the most part. But when he starts talking about like, I don't look good. I look like a horse. Blah blah blah. It got annoying. But other than that, it was an alright series. I didn't hate it. Fantastic Four 34. This is the end of the Bride of Doom arc. That one was alright. I don't usually read Fantastic Four too much, but this one was okay. A lot of action, a lot of stuff going on. Didn't hate it, but didn't make my cut. Berserker issue 4. This is the foil cover. Again, it's been 4 issues of basically the same thing. The only thing really different about this one is we learn about something that may be able to hurt him or kill him. But more or less just backstory and super ultra violence. So didn't hate it. Again, just didn't make the list. Scumbag issue 9. This series has just been a fun ride all over. The ray, like kind of death ray, but it's not really a death ray. It's going to be like a love ray. Got infected with Ernie's personality, so when they shot the Earth, basically the 70s were back. Just funny all around. Now they're trying to change it, put it back to its normal self, trying to create an anti-Ernie. But Ernie doesn't want that, so he creates like a team of superheroes, but they're just his bar mates, and they're just like the scum of the earth. Fun ride, just not making my top list. Parasomnia. I never get that right. This book is still a little confusing. I guess there's a dream world and the real world. And there's a child missing in both of them, and the dad is, I guess, looking for the child in the dream world and the real world, and the mom, it's like switches between two. It's a little confusing for me, but I didn't hate it. The more he uses his powers, it seems like the more he slips into the dream world becoming his real world. I don't know. Alright read. I'm still interested in it. Excuse me, I've been sick. But didn't make my list. And I don't think I have to explain why Amazing Spider-Man didn't make my list. But that cover is amazing. Momoko. Just bland storytelling. Nothing really happens in this issue. Can't wait. Say it every week. Can't wait for Nick Spencer to leave. Shadow Man, issue 4. Again, seems like kind of another filler where he meets another guy kind of like himself, it seems like. And it seems like the I can't remember what they call it, but dead place is trying to take a physical form, and you know, just a little more backstory. This series has been pretty good. I enjoy it. Another really confusing one, the Blue Flame. I'm not sure what's happening, because it seems like this guy is on Earth, and then at the same time he's in space as the Blue Flame. I don't know what's happening. He's supposed to be representing all of the human race with this group of people, but at the same time they're telling either a backstory or something about how he got injured on Earth and he's like half paralyzed. It hasn't made sense yet, but it's still been pretty good, you know. I'm just a little confused. If you know what's going on, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. Alright, time to get to my kind of top 10. They're not in any particular order, but these are like the top reads of the week for me. Robin, issue 4. Nothing super exciting is happening, but the storytelling is just really good. Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, however you want to pronounce it, makes an appearance. He's just kind of like, he's like this Zen old man, giving Robin, you know, lessons and patience, basically. It seems like telling him, you know, you need to train your mind as well as your physical body. He's like, you're too rash and too angry all the time. You need to chill out. Good overall. This series has been amazing so far, and super excited to see where it goes. Star Wars 15. This is a War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in. I was surprised at how good this one was. This one felt like the old, like, Rogue Squadron series. And I loved those growing up. Anything with the dogfighting, I was hooked as a kid. This one did not disappoint in that fact. It felt like I knew what was going to happen here, like an old friend. Star Wars 15. Spawn 320. This was an action-packed issue. I mean, you have Cygor, Spawn, and what's the other guy's name? He's a human. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they're all fighting, and it's just brutal. Like, people being punched into space and coming back. It's what you want to see with a Spawn comic. This run, like I said, I just recently started Spawn, but I've been enjoying it so far. This one did not disappoint. The Department of Truth, issue 11. This is continuing from the last issue with Sasquatch. Wow, this is another one of those heavy reads. Journal entries about Sasquatch from a person who cited it, and you know, it's all about his family life and how it's affected it, how he basically became his dad with you know, breaking up his marriage because of his hunt for Sasquatch. But just journal page after journal page, it's just a heavy read, but it's so good, so well written. And then we get to the end, and it's just kind of like yeah, nobody's gonna believe you, but at least you know you were right. It was so good, very well written. Still heavily invested in the Department of Truth. Avengers Mech Strike, issue 5. This is the end of the series. I was a little disappointed. I mean, like, overall, still a really good series. But the mechs did not make much of an appearance in the last maybe 2 or 3 issues, and I was hoping for a lot more with that. But overall, not bad. There was kind of a moment where I felt like, what's his name? I'm blanking on names, but there's just great artwork moments in here. Overall, fantastic. Did not hate this series. Sorry about that. My camera died. But let's get back into it. Beast Wars issue 6. This one really hits the my nostalgia really hard. Was a big fan of the television show back in the day, and this one did not disappoint. It's definitely at the top of my list. Definitely geared more towards children, but being Beast Wars definitely hits my nostalgia button. But if you're a fan of Beast Wars, Transformers, definitely a good read. Amazing Fantasy #1. I was not sure what kind of ride this was going to take me on at first, but man, it's definitely, I'm hooked on this one. It was started out with 3 separate mini stories: Captain America, Black Widow, and Spider-Man. And at the end of their little mini stories, each one of them has died. But they wake up and they're in this fantasy world, very orcs and elves. Obviously, there's a griffin looking thing. But if you like fantasy, like Conan the Barbarian or anything like that, and you like Marvel characters, this one's going to be the series for you. This is going to go somewhere fun and fantastic. It's only going to be 5 issues. I'm super excited to see where that one takes off. Batman Reptilian. This is book 2. I love the artwork in this. It looks like paintings. Something is just essentially tasting bad guys and then leaving, but they're leaving like groups of enemies, like Mr. Freeze and the Penguin and stuff. They're just wrecked and dying in the hospital. And this one seems more detective-y than Batman just beating on people, which I do enjoy when Batman is more of a detective than trying to, one-on-one with Superman. Great read. The wording kind of gets a little confusing sometimes for me. I don't know. But other than that, fantastic story. Love the artwork. Something I had not heard about but picked up last minute. This is a one-shot. It's called Snow White Zombie Apocalypse. The name is a little misleading. It does not really center around Snow White, but it takes place in like the classic stories stuff. It's Prince Charming and Rapunzel. They're kind of teamed up together, but Rapunzel is definitely the more battle savvy character. Prince Charming is just kind of this goofy, charming guy. But they're wandering through the woods, and he winds up waking up Snow White. And apparently they had killed all the dwarves and stuff at one point, and Little Red Riding Hood was made an appearance, but she got taken out by the zombie bad wolf. It was just a fun ride. Was not expecting this at all. It's only a one shot, so it wasn't a huge investment, but yeah, if you definitely see this one, you're a fan of zombies, and the older, grim fairy tales type stories, definitely give this one a shot. It was fun. And lastly, Vinyl, issue number 2. We started this series with a serial killer talking to an FBI agent. The serial killer is he's not all there. He sees the FBI agent as his friend. The FBI agent's trying to catch him, but the FBI agent gets captured himself by another group of serial killers. So now the main serial killer is getting together with other serial killers, and they're like, hey, let's kind of put on a little horror show for this other group. So they're like leading this like soldiers into the sewers, and they've set up traps like an old horror movie style stuff. It's an interesting read. I am not sure who we're supposed to be rooting for in this one. Everybody seems bad except for the FBI agent, but it's fun. Like seeing it from the perspective of your horror movie monster. It's an interesting take. Definitely still invested. I think this is only going to be a short run, maybe 5 issues or so, but I'm still invested. Vinyl number 2. Alright, and I picked up just a couple dollar bin books. Web of Spider-Man, issue 54. I don't know if there's anything special about it, but I do collect Web of Spider-Man, so that cover is interesting. It seems to be the chameleon is J. Jonah Jameson, and his makeup's falling apart. And then Inhumans Prime. I love the character of Black Bolt. So a number 1 Inhumans. I'll pick it up every time. Well, thanks for stopping by and taking a look at what I've got going on. If you like what you see, give me a like down below, leave a comment, tell me what you think, what you're reading, and as always, you guys have a good day.